lines from point slope diagonal only. What is the equation of a line that passes through the point 3, 7 and has a slope of 3? So the first thing I'd like to point out is that when it says the equation of a line, that means slope-intercept form. So I'm just going to write that down. Y equals mx plus b. And then remember that our m value, this is our slope. And the b value right there, that is our y-intercept. And we're going to use that formula, slope-intercept, quite a bit with these type of problems. The next thing I'd like to point out is they do give us a point here. So they give us a point of 3, 7. Just remember, this is when you have an ordered pair. In other words, in parentheses you have an x value separated by a comma. The 3 is my x and the 7 is my y. And then lastly, I do want to point out that they do give us a slope of 3. So if we combine the slope of 3 and we were to put in the number 3 here, like that, and then we put in our y value of 7 and our x value of 3, we'd have a basic equation. So really in these equations where they give us a slope and a point, we just have to go back to slope-intercept form. What I mean by that is simply just write it out. Y equals mx plus b. And now we're just going to plug in values. So again, notice this 7 right here. That's my y value, so I'm going to put 7. This x value, right where the x is, I'm going to put a parenthesis and I'm going to put a 3 in there. My slope is 3, so I'm going to put a 3 right here where the m used to be, and then I'll just rewrite the rest of the equation. So I've got my equal sign, and I have my plus b. So my equation is 7 is equal to 3 times 3 plus b. This 3 times 3 will simplify. Actually, let's draw our vertical line here. So 7 is equal to 3 times 3 is going to give us 9 plus b. Then in order to solve for b, I'm going to subtract 9 on each side of the equation. On the left, 7 minus 9 is negative 2, and it looks like my negative 2 is actually equal to my b value. Again, point out that the negative 9, positive 9 canceled. So now if that's true, we actually have all the information that we need. We have our slope that we can put in there for m, and then we have our b value, which we're going to put in for that. So we can write our final answer. So I have y equals, again they told us the slope was 3, and then x, and then my b value is negative 2. So in other words, just in summary, use the point they give you, use the slope, and put that into slope-intercept form, solve for b, and then rewrite the equation in slope-intercept form. Okay, so here's an example when our slope is going to be an integer. Now I'm going to give you an example if your slope is actually a fraction. Okay, so once again, equation of a line, we want to go to slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. We identify that the point they give us is 5, 5. So I have an x value of 5 and a y value of 5. Then over here, they tell us that our slope is negative 3 over 5. What we're going to do is we are going to write our equation in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. We are going to take our slope of 3/5, negative 3/5, and I'm going to put that right here where the m would go. I'm going to take my x and my y value, so I have an x value of 5, and I have a y value of 5 as well, and the rest of that it's just going to write your equal sign, and then I'm going to put plus b. I'm going to draw my vertical line down the middle of the equation just to keep myself organized, and I'll show this in 2 steps. You don't have to do it 2 steps every time. But I would have 5 is equal to, I can make negative 3 over 5. I can make this 5 a fraction by putting it over 1. And a negative 3 times 5 is negative 15. And 5 times 1 is 5 plus b. They do help you out with this negative 15 over 5. Every time I've seen this is going to reduce to be an integer. In other words, negative 15, pardon me, divided by 5, that's going to give you a negative 3. Again, notice it's a fraction, and then it becomes an integer. So I have 5 is equal to negative 3 plus b. I'll add 3 on each side, and then 5 plus 3 is 8 is equal to my b value. So again, you can write the fraction and then reduce it, or if you notice that these two 5s will cancel each other out, meaning it's just negative 3 over 1 or just negative 3, that's fine as well. Now that we've solved for b, we're simply going to go ahead and we're just going to combine the information together. Again, recall that we do have a slope of negative 3 over 5. That's what they gave us right there. Actually, let me use a different color. So we had a slope of negative 3 over 5. That's going to go in for m. Notice our b value is going to be 8, so we're going to put that together. And we're just going to go back and put those values in there. So I have y is equal to negative 3 over 5. Don't forget your x, and then plus 8. And be sure to box your final answer. And that's pretty much it. Solve for b using slope-intercept form, and you've got it.